Page 48, Chapter 2, The Wise Men from the Orient, Verse 1. When Emmanuel was born in the stable at Bethlehem, in the stable of a shelter in the land of the Jews, during the time of Herod Antipas, tetrarch, or ruler over a fourth part of a land, of Galilee and Perea, behold, 4 wise men, businessmen, who were also ones knowledgeable in the stars and academics in the teaching of the prophets, arrived in Jerusalem from the Orient and spoke. Page 52, verse 2, quote, Where is the newborn King of wisdom of the Jews? We have seen a bright light in the sky and heard a voice, which said to us, quote, Follow the tail of the light, because the King of wisdom of the God-believers is born, and he will bring great knowledge. Therefore we have come to see and to honor the newborn King of wisdom. It has been said since old times, he shall have the knowledge of the Ishwish, and be a son of the celestial son Gabriel. His knowledge will be properly, or boundless, as will be his might and his wisdom, and he shall master the teaching of the knowledge of the Spirit, and he shall bring this to the human beings, so that they may comprehend or learn, and turn to the creation. Page 60, verse 8. When Herod Antipas heard of this, he was frightened, and with him the entire people, the chief priests, and the scribes, and the Sadducees and Pharisees in Jerusalem, because they feared that the newborn child wielded dreadful power. Herod Antipas called together all the scribes among the people and the chief priests, and inquired of them where Emmanuel should have been born. And they replied, quote, In Bethlehem, in the Jewish land, for thus it was written by the prophet Micah. Quote, And you, Bethlehem, in the land of the God-believers, are by no means the least among the cities in Judea, for you shall go forth, for from you shall go forth the King of wisdom, who will bring great knowledge to the people of the God-believers, so that they may comprehend or learn and venerate the truth about the creation and its laws and recommendations. End quote. Thereupon, Herod Antipas secretly called the 4 wise men to himself, and diligently asked them when and where the bright light with the long tail, or Plejaren beamship, had appeared in the sky, and they told it to him. After that, he sent them to Bethlehem, and said, quote, Go and search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, let me know, so that I may also go and worship him. End quote. And they had listened to Herod Antipas. After they had listened to Herod Antipas, they departed. And behold, the light with the long tail, which they had observed in the Orient, moved ahead of them with a high singing, or whirring, sound, until it stood at Bethlehem directly over the stable of the shelter where the infant was born. When they saw this, they were filled with great joy. They then went into the stable and found the young child with his mother, Maria, and with Joseph. And they fell down, attested venerability before him, and offered their treasures, which consisted of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. However, the voice again rang out from the singing or whirring light high above, saying that they should not return to Herod Antipas, because he planned evil for the young child. And they returned to their distant land by another route. After the 4 wise men had left, behold, the celestial son Gabriel appeared to Joseph, saying, quote, "Arise and take the infant, you and his mother Maria, and flee to the land of Egypt, and stay there until I beckon, because Herod Antipas is going about searching for the young child and trying to kill him, because he fears that this born one, or newborn, will afterward or later wield terrible power in his land. While you are in the land of Egypt, I will send my delegate to Herod Antipas, so he will teach him the truth." End quote. And Joseph arose and took the young child and his mother to himself in the night, and escaped under the guidance of the celestial son Gabriel in the descending, singing, or whirring light, which fled with them to the land of Egypt. Here they remained until Herod Antipas, through the celestial son's sent messenger, had a change of mentality, and his inner anxiety settled down. When Herod Antipas saw and knew that he had nothing to fear from the young boy, who was credited only with great wisdom and knowledge, he felt safe in his realm. Thus, he promised the delegate of the celestial son Gabriel that he would no longer pursue Maria, Joseph, and Emmanuel. Now that Herod Antipas and his followers had changed their mentality, behold, the celestial son Gabriel appeared again before Joseph in the land of Egypt, and said, quote, "Arise, and take the young child, you and his mother Maria, and go back towards and back into the land of the God-believers, so that in years he, or Emmanuel, may proclaim the quote teaching of the prophets to them, again in a new form. All those who were after or sought the child's life have changed their mentalities." End quote. And Joseph stood up, took the young child and his mother, and went with them into the singing or whirring light, which had appeared again, and it brought them back to the land of the God-believers. Thus, the celestial son Gabriel brought them back to the land of Galilee. There they dwelled in the city which is called Nazareth, so that what had been spoken by the prophets would be fulfilled, quote, "Emmanuel shall be called the Nazarene."